गया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 84, verse number 42. So we read how Vasudeva, he approached the sages and asked a question to them how he can become free from bondage to karma while performing karma. So the sages spoke to him that there are three types of death. Everyone is born with that. Death to the sages, death to the devas, death to the forefathers. And they said that you have cleared two of them, one is remaining, that is to the devas, and therefore he should do the yajna. But they also said that you have attained Krishna as your son, so that means you have worshipped Jagatameshwaram. So now it describes what Vasudeva did after hearing this. Sri Shuka Uvacha iti tadvachanam shrutva Vasudevo mahamanaha tan rishindritvajo vavre murdhna anamya prasadyacha. So after hearing the words of the sages, then he decided to do the yajna so that he can be free from the third debt, that is to the devas. And to do the yajna he needs ritviks, so he accepted the rishis only as the ritvik. So ritvik means the priest who performs the yajna. Because you do the yajna, you have to have a person who will do the ceremony, the ritual. And the one who hires such a ritvik is called Yajman. So Vasudeva is the Yajman or the host, and the sages became the priest for him. So he bowed down to them, putting his head to their feet and pleased them and accepted them as the ritvik. There is no commentary on this. Tenam rishyo rajan vrita dharmena dharmikam tasmin ayajayan kshetre makhair uttama kalpakaihi. So Vasudeva, he accepted in that land of dharma, tasmin dharmikam, through a process of dharma, he accepted the ritviks as the sages, according to the process of dharma. And then he performed yajna there. Tasmin ayajayan kshetre makhair uttam kalpakai. So kalpaka means the ingredients which are used. They are also called kalpa or kalpaka. And uttam kalpaka means the best of the ingredients required for doing the yajna. So he performed yajna, or he made them perform the yajna. Tadikshayam pravrittayam vishnaya puskarasrajah Snatas vasaso rajan rajana shashtolankrita. When you do the yajna, then you have to take also diksha in that. Yeah, that is called yajnik diksha. So when he took diksha, Vasudeva, then all the Vrishnis, other Yadavas, they came there dressed very nicely and all having garlands made from lotus flowers. And also the other kings who had come there, they also came all very nicely decorated with nice ornaments. They all participated in that. Tan mahishyascha mudita niskakantaya suvasasaha diksha shalam upajagmur alipta vastupaneha. And then the wives of Vasudeva had 18 wives. So they also all came there being very happy that their husband is doing this yajna. And they all had very nice golden lockets in their neck and beautiful dresses. And they also smeared their body with unguents, fragrant objects. And they carried mangala, ghata, etc., auspicious objects, yogurt, barley, right? Pot full of water. So these are all considered as mangalic substances. So they came into the Yajna-shala, which is called here as the Diksha-shala. or the place of Diksha where he was. Vastu Paniya Hastagrihita Arahana Dravya. So Vastu Paniya means that they had in their hands the objects for worship. Nedur Mridanga Pataha Shankha Bhairya Anakadayaha Nandratu Anartakya Tushtu Suta Maghadaha. At that time the drums, patahas, conch shells, bheri and anaka. This word anaka, he was asking what is anaka dandubi. So they were all played there, and the dancers, they danced, male and female, nata nartake, nandratur nata nartake. And sutas and magadas, they are class of people who recite stotras, sing glories of the kings. So they all were very happy. So they also sang. Jagu Sukunthayo Gandharvya Sangeetam Sah Bhartrika. And the Gandharvi ladies, Gandharvas are famous for singing. So they also came and sang there with beautiful voice, along with their husbands. Tam abhyam sinchan vidhivat aktam abhyaktam ritvijaha patni bhirashtadas bhir somrajam ivodubhi. So then they gave him bath. So Vasudeva has put Anjana in his eyes, what you call collyrium, and he has put butter on his body, and then he take bath with that. So therefore it says Akta Abhyaktam Ritvija. So the Ritviks, they gave him bath along with his 18 wives, and there he appeared like moon among the stars. Somrajiva Udubhi. That's how he appeared. Aktam netrayor anjanena abhyaktam sarvangeshu navnitena. So aktam means the collyrium which is applied to the eyes, and abhyaktam means that butter was applied to the whole body. Somrajam bahunam somanam yadiva kasyadeko raja bhavati tamiva. So he appeared, if there were many moons, then he appeared like as if he was the king of the moons. That's how he appeared. Tabhir dukula valayai haram nupara kundalaihi svalankrita vivabhau dikshito jin samvritaha. So Vasudeva, he was dressed in deer skin, and he has taken the diksha, and he appeared very beautiful, surrounded by his wives, who were all dressed very nicely. Dukula, Gopi Vadhuti Dukula Chara. So Dukula is the dress. Valaya are the bangles. Hara is a necklace. Nupur, anklets, and kundala, earrings. So in this way they were all very nicely decorated with ornaments. Swalankrita bhir vibhavav, and he was in the center. So they appeared very nice with all this. A lot of ornaments. In the olden days, this was a custom to put on a lot of ornament. Now we don't see that. Tasya Ritvijo Maharaja Ratna Kaushaya Vasasaha Sasadasya Virejuste Yatha Vritrahinodhvare. And the Ritviks were also dressed very nicely. They were also all in silk dhotis, and they also had ornaments. Ratna Kaushaya. Kaushaya means silk. So they all were in silk dress. And there were members in there who also participated. And the Ritviks, they appeared as if they are in the Yagya of Indra. Vritrahana Vadhvare. No commentary. Tada Ramasya Krishnascha Svai Bandhu Bhiranvitau Rejatuhu Svasutai Darir Jiveshau Svavibhutibhihi. Then Krishna and Balaram also came there, who are the master of the Jivas. They came there along with their relatives, friends, their children, wives, and with their vibhutis, whatever their opulence. So it was a big festival. So all this gathered. Jiveshau, Saru Jiva Namishav. Jivesha means that they are the lords of all the Jivas. So they appeared very beautiful. Rejatu, Raja Rejatu Reju. Ije anuyagyam vidhina agnihotradi lakshanaihi prakritair vakritair yagyai dravya jnana kriyeshwaram. So then they worshipped the Lord of all the material objects, Lord of knowledge, Kriya, by the Yagya. So Ija Yagyam Yagya Vidhina. The Yagya Purusha was worshipped with the proper process of the Yagya. And with the various types of Yagyas were performed, not just one, Agnihotradi, Sadars, Purnamas. Of course, Dars Purnamas is performed only on special occasion. So if that was occasion for that, but Agnihotra is performed. And Prakritair Vakritair Yagyai. So there are two types of Yagyas. One are called Prakrita, other is called Vakrita. So Prakrita Yagya is that in which the whole process is described. And Vakrita are the Yagyas in which the complete process is not described, but you have to borrow from the Prakrita. So they performed all the. So there are Yagyas have main Yagyas, then there are small Yagyas called Ishtis. So they were all performed as per the process. Anuyagyam Pratiyagyam Amna Sarvanga Prakrita. So Prakrita is defined here as which has all its angas described. Jyotishtom, Dars Purnavasadya. These are the Prakriti Yagyas. Jyotishtom is one of the Somyag. There are various types of Somyagas. One of them is Jyotishtom. And Darsha, which is performed on Amavasya. Purnamasa, which is performed on full moon day. Tebhyas Chodana Lingadibhis. So there are different types of vidhis are there. So they performed. Desh Prapta Vakrita. So which has some part described. So they are the Sauriya Satradaya. These are name of the Yagyas. Tai sarvaireva dravyam purodasidi jnanam mantra kriya karma tesham ishwaram. So dravya is purodas, etc. Purodas is you make like patties from the rice flour, then you cook them in the small earthen pots which are called kapalas. 8 of them, they are called Ashtakapala. And Jnanam here means the mantra, chanting of the mantra is there, and then various activities which go along with that are called Kriya or Karma. So the Ishvara of all this is the Yagya Purusha. So now the Yagya has been performed, or Yagyas, because there were many of them. Swath ritvik-bhyo adadat kale yathamnatam sadakshinaha swalankritebhyo lankritya gobhu kanya mahadana. So when the yajna was done, then he gave them the dakshina. So without dakshina, yajna is not complete. That is called tamasic yajna. You don't give dakshina. If you don't distribute food, that is called tamasic yajna. So he gave dakshina to all the ritviks as per the shastric vidhi. There is also vidhi how much to give, because there are certain restrictions also. And then however the ritviks, he says first they were already nicely decorated, ornamented. He put more ornaments on them. Alankritya, he gave them cows, he gave them land. He also gave them girls for marriage if they wanted to marry. Gobhu Kanya Mahadana. So these are the dakshinas. It is strange that they give also girls in dakshina. It's called Kanyadan. So Vasudevaha Dakshina. So Hisva means Vasudev. He gave the dakshina Kidrishi Mahanti Swarna Ratnadini Dhanani Yasuta. So various types of dakshinas, gold and gems and wealth, coins, dollar, gave that also. Dhanani, he says. Can turn on this. Then there is final yaga, part of the yaga. Patni sanyaj avbhrityais charitva te maharshaya sasnu ram hriday vipra yajmana purashara. So there are yajnas also called yaj, anuyaj, prayaj, sanyaj, 5 types. So there is one thing called patni sanyaj, which is done along with the patni. And then finally is called avbhrita. Avbhrita is a snana. Means completion of yajna is marked by the bath ceremony. For the yajman, he is given bath by the ritviks, like they gave in the beginning and in the end also. Because the water which is kept there, so that water is potent with the chanting of the mantras, then the bath is given with that water. Energy healing, where is Malati? So this is the energy healing. So then the person who is given the bath, he gets empowered by the Shakti which is in the water. Water is considered as a good carrier of Shakti. Water, because water has the ability to take the emotions. Right? You know that experiment which was done by the Japanese famous scientist. So water has this special characteristic that it absorbs emotions, Shakti. The chanting of the mantra goes into that and then give bath. Remember that king, he drank at night, he was thirsty, then he became pregnant. That much power in that. And then Mandhata was born from him. Mandhata's father. So Patni Sanyaja Ubhritais Charitvate Maharshaya. So all the sages, they performed this ceremony for him. And then all of them, these Brahmanas, keeping the Yajman in front, that is Vasudev, they all took bath in the Ramhrada, those lakes which were built by Parsuram there. So, what is that? Semantak, Panchak? Semanta Panchak Hrada. So they took bath in that. So Patni Sanyajo Yaga Vishesha. Patni Sannyas is a special type of yaga. At the end, Avbhrita Sambandhi Krityani cha tai charitat anyanusthati. So they performed the Avbhrita ceremony. Snato alankara vasamsi vandibhyo adat tatha striyah tatah svalankrito varnan asvabhenannena pujayat. So when he took bath, then Vasudev and the wives, they gave ornaments and cloths to all the Vandi. So Vandi means those who, the Sut Magata Vandi, they are same class of people. So Vandibhyo dat tatha striya tatah svalankrito varnanan asvebhyo nina. And then he gave his own ornaments also to the Brahmanas. And then he gave food to everybody, even to the dogs, up to the dogs. Ashvebhyo annena pujayat. So after that, food is given to everybody. Snato vasudeva tasya striyas cha adu. So Vasudeva and the women, they all gave in charity. Ashvabhya suno abhivyapya annena pujayat apujayat. So he gave food not only to human beings but also to the dogs. Must have prepared a lot of food. Bandhun sadaran sasutan pari barhen bhuyasa vidarbha kaushala kurun kasi kekaya sanjayan sadasyarittvika surganan nribhuta pitricharanan Sriniketam anugyapya shansantam prayokritam. Then he gave gifts to all relatives along with their wives and children, to the kings of Vidarbha, Kaushala, Kuru, Kashi, Kekaya, Srinjaya, to all the members of the Yagya, Ritviks, the Suraganas, Devas who were present also, and Nribhut Pitri Charanan, to other human beings, living beings, forefathers, Charanas. So all of them he gave, whoever were there, they gave them gifts. Then all these kings, people, they took leave from Sri Krishna, who is called here as abode of Lakshmi, Sriniketam, Anugapya, Sansantaha Prayo Kratum. So praising this yagya, they went to their respective places. So parivarhena priti danena. Parivarhena means gift. And techa sarve prayayu, they all left. Then more people are going to leave. Gradually people start leaving. Dhritarashtra anujaha partha bhishmo drona prathayamau narado bhagavan vyasa suhit sambandhi bandhavaha bandhun parisvajya yadun shrahidat kilana chetasaha yayurvirha krichrena svadesan cha pare janaha. So then Dhritarashtra and his younger brother Vidura, Partha is Kunti Devi, Bhishma, Dronacharya. Partha is sons of Pritha, means the Pandavas. Then Pritha, and that is Kunti, and Yama, Nakul, Sahadev. And Narada, Bhagavan Narada, Vyasa, and all the relatives of these people. So they all embraced the Yadus and relatives, and their hearts were melting out of affection because now they were leaving. And then feeling intense pain of separation, they went to their own respective places. And similarly, all other people, they also gradually left. Anujo Vidura, Anuja here is Vidura. Then comes Nanda Maharaj. The Vrajvasis are still there. Nandastu saha gopalai brihitya pujayarchitaha Krishna Ramo grasenadyair avatsit bandhu vatsalaha. But Nanda Maharaj did not leave. He stayed along with the cowherd men, and he was greatly respected by Yadavas, Krishna, Balram, Ugrasena and others. So he stayed there, although everybody left, but he continued to stay, and Yadavas were also there. Why? Bandhu Vatsala, because he was very affectionate towards them. Therefore he did not go. Tu sabdena sarvato api visheshta parthadi pujato api bhritya puja. So the word tu here is used for Nanda Maharaj, Nandastu. That signifies that he was very special among all the people. Although they respected everybody, but special respect was given to him, more than even to Kunti Devi or to the sons of Kunti. Parthadi puja topi bhritya puja. Tan sarvan prasthapya api tasya chiram aprasthapanat. And although everyone left, but he still remained there, did not go. Vasudeva anjasottirya manoratha maharnavam Sruhidvrita Pritamanananda Maha Kare Sprashan. Vasudeva, who completed his wish, which was like crossing over an ocean of wish, Manorath Maharnavam, because he did this big yajna. Doing yajna is not an ordinary thing. It is not doing some simple arti. Yajna involves a lot of activities. So everything went well and without much difficulty, Anjasa. And then he was surrounded by his friends, relatives. So being very affectionate towards Nanda Maharaj, he spoke to Nanda Maharaj while holding his hand. So Nanda and Vasudeva, they are very great friends. So he is talking to him. Manoratho Yajna. So the wish of Vasudeva was to do this yajna, and this was like a big ocean. Uttirya tat sarva sampurnata labhineti. So he crossed it over. Crossed it over means that he got the full benefit of it. Means everything was done nicely without any obstacle. So now Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva is speaking to Nanda Maharaj. Sri Vasudeva Vacha. Sri Vasudeva said, Bhratar ishakrita pasho nirnamya sneha sangitaha tam dustyajamaham manye shuranam api yoginam. He said, my dear brother, God had made one rope which binds everybody. And this is the rope which is called Sneha. That is the name of the rope. So rope of affection. Affection is called Sneha. So this binds everybody. And it is very difficult to break away this rope this bondage of the sneha. Snehanubandho bandhunam munerapi sudustyaja. The bondage, snehanubandha of bandhus. So bondage is called bandhana or anubandha, and relatives are called bandhu. So bandhus are in bandhana by the rope. It is not visible. So nobody likes bondage. Nobody wants to be bound. You go and ask somebody, will you like to be bound? He says, come on, what is this question you are asking? But if you ask that, would you like to have loving relationship? Then he says, of course. But that is the bondage. So, although bandhana is not liked, but when it is bandhana of priti, prema, then everybody wants that. So therefore bondage comes covered with that. If it came by itself, nobody wants it. So that's why it says sneha sangita. Means the bondage changes its name and calls itself affection. And everybody takes it. Says, give me, give me. So he says that even those who are very heroic, very powerful, they cannot give it up. And even those who are highly renounced, knowledgeable person, they also cannot give it up. Even Vyasadeva was running after his son. Putraiti tanmayata tarvo bhanedu tam surabhuti hridayam munimanato asmi. So balena suranam api durbhidam. So even those who are very powerful, heroic, they cannot break this. They don't have that much strength. Jnanena yoginam api dustyaja. And the yogis who have knowledge, they cannot break it. Iti arthantar nyasene matputrayo sne pasena yuvam ratridivam dridham baddho eva bhavata. So there is a arthantar nyas. It's called an arthantar nyas alankar, where you say one thing but you mean another thing. So what he wants to say, that you are bound to the affection of my sons, Krishna and Balram, and you cannot give it up. That's what he intends to say. Asmasu aprati kalpeyam yat kritagyesu sattamaihi maitriyarpita phalavapi nanivarteta karechit. He says that your affection towards us who are ignorant people is unparalleled. You are such a great sadhu. You have made friendship towards us without any fruit, means without any expectation, and it never diminishes. Nanivarteta karechit. So Ram Krishna Vishyak Dridha Sneha Rupa Mahadhan Vitranena Sattamai. So he is calling you as Sattama, means you are distributing the love, that wealth of love for Ramakrishna. Bhavadbhir asmasu yatya maitri arpita yam apratikalpa nirupama. The friendship which you have shown towards us, it has no example, it is unparalleled. Afala pratiupkar lipsa sunya. And you do not have any intention that we should return something, we should reciprocate, we should also do something to you. You don't have any such desire. Kadapi na nivartishyate cha, and it never goes away and will not go away. Eva arthaya api nischitam eva. So the word api is used in the sense of eva, means certainly. Asmasu kidrishesu kritagyesu kritam upkaram ajanatsu. And who are we? We are the people who have not done anything in return. We are like ungrateful. Tena vayam asattama. Therefore we are asattama, you are sattama. You are the best of sadhus and we are the lowest. Sattaman yusman prati idam vaktum api na trapamaheti bhava. Says, I feel ashamed even to speak like this because you are so great. But still I say it. Praga kalpacha kuslam bhratarvo nacharamahi adhuna Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam nepashyama purasataha. So earlier we could not do anything because when we say, why are you ungrateful, why you don't do anything? So he is replying that. He says earlier we could not do anything because we were in prison. Vasudeva was in prison, he had nothing. What could we do? So praga akalpa means not capable. Kuslam bhratar vai na acharame. So we could not do anything good to you. And now what happened now? He says Śrīmad-Bhāgavata. Now we are blinded by the opulence. And therefore we are not doing anything. He is out of humility, he is speaking like that. Ne pashyama purasataha. So we are not seeing you who are present right in front of our eyes. Not seeing means we have not done anything to you. And that is the meaning. Svesham akritagyattvam evaha prak. So he is showing, explaining his ungratefulness. So he says that earlier we were incapable. Why? Kans partantrena asamartyat. Because we are under the control of Kamsa, therefore we did not have any ability to reciprocate. Yasmakam prati upkaram nacharama na karvame. We do not do any upkar, any welfare to you. Kans vadhanantaram adhuna swatantrepi Śrīmadatyadi. Now when Kamsa has been killed, we are still not doing it because now we are steeped in opulence and therefore we are blinded by that wealth. Ma rajyasrira bhut pamsha shreyas kamasya manada svajanan utbandhunva na pashyati yayandhadrik. Says that, my dear honorable friend, one who desires good for oneself should never get wealth. Any human being who wants some good, ultimate good for oneself should not accumulate wealth, Rajyasri, especially the royal wealth, Rajyasri. Why? Because once you have the royal position, royal wealth, then you don't even look at your own relatives, friends. You become completely blinded by it. So we see this also many times. People who are very, very rich, they don't have good family relations among their family members. It's very much seen in very rich people. So that's what he's trying to hint here. Ma bhut ma bhuyat. So he's saying one should not have wealth. Adagama. Evam mahadanya vinay sindho majjan swameva nirmamajya vasudeva iti bhava. So he says the meaning is that he was speaking about the humility of Nanda Maharaj, that how simple and humble Nanda Maharaj is. He doesn't want anything. But while speaking like this, he himself became drowned in humility, because he himself is saying, I am blind, I am this, I did not do anything. So this is the effect of his speaking about the great qualities of Nanda Baba. Sri Sukha Vacha Evam Srahida Saithilya Chitta Anakadundhuvihi Ruroda Tatkritam Maitrim Smaran Ashru Vilochana. So because he became very humble, sober, speaking like this, then he says that his heart became full of affection for Nanda Maharaj, and he became very melted. The heart became very melted of Vasudeva. So much that although he is grown up, he has son, and his son is already having grandson. So he is not only the grandfather but great grandfather. And he is crying, Rodha. So he actually started crying with tears in his eyes. Smaran, remembering the great friendship of Nanda Maharaj, what all Nanda Maharaj has done. Because Nanda Maharaj treated Krishna and Balaram just like his own children, completely affectionate towards them. So much that Krishna and Balaram never thought that he is not their father. So remembering this, he started crying with tears in his eyes. Nandastu Sakhya Priyakrit Premna Govinda Ramayoho Adya Svaiti Mashanstrin Yadubhir Manito Vasat. Then it describes Nanda Maharaj. How was he? Says Nandastu Sakhya Priyakrit Premna Govinda Ramayoho. He says to do out of love for his friend Vasudeva, and also out of love for Krishna and Balaram, Nanda Maharaj stayed there for 3 months. And every day he will say, I will leave today. Then in the afternoon he will say, I will go tomorrow morning. Then morning time he will say, I will leave in the afternoon. And in the afternoon he will say, I will leave tomorrow. And like this he passed 3 months. Can imagine. And Yadubhir Manito and Yadavas also stayed 3 months there. They also didn't want to leave. So they had a good company together. Nandastu. So tu bhinnopkrame, that word tu in this sloka describes change in topic or mood. Vasudevasya upkrama bhut sanandasya nabhut. So what Vasudeva was speaking, Nanda did not fall for that. That is the intent, that he did not say, oh yes, you're right, I'm like that, I'm like that. But he was absorbed in his love for Krishna and Balaram and didn't want to leave them. So he stayed. Matputre Sri Krishna tav swaputratva abhimanam vidvansyan ahamidanim khalu swaputram grihitva eva vrajam yasyami iti gambhiryadeva yanne pratyavochat. So he did not speak anything because he is thinking that Krishna is my son and he is calling him as his son. He says, what is this? He says, I will not go to Vraja without taking Krishna with me. He has captured my son and now I want to take him back to Vraja. So that's why he didn't say anything. He did not want to break Vasudeva's heart to tell him that no, he is not your son, he is my son. But at the same time, he cannot give up the idea that Krishna is my son. Vasudeva thinks Krishna is his son. Nanda thinks that he is his son. And both are right. So therefore, but both don't tell this to each other. Neither Vasudeva tells to Nanda that he is not your son. Although he keeps calling him as my son, and Nanda also does not tell him that no, he is my son, not your son. He also calls him as my son. So there is a tie, it's called Tyson. The tie over the son. So he says, Mat putre Sri Krishna tav putra taviman vidvansin. That you are calling my son as your son, and I'm going to break this feeling. And taking my son, then only I'll go to Vraja. Iti Gampirya, thinking like this, he didn't say anything. He only thought like that, didn't say it. Na pratyavochat, he did not give any reply. Kintu tushni meva tishtat, but he stayed only silent. Tenaiva sakyur vasudevasya priyakrit. So therefore, in this way, he did good to his friend Vasudeva. Otherwise, Vasudeva will become full of anxiety that he is calling my son as his son. So he did not say anything like that. Anyatha tu apriyakrita eva so abhavishyat. Otherwise, instead of priyakrit, Nanda Maharaj would have become apriyakrit. Instead of doing good to him, he would be doing bad to him. Adya svaiti adya khalu atra asameva swasaputram grihitva vrajam. Yes. So doing today, tomorrow, he stayed there. So thinking that today I will stay here, tomorrow I will take my son and go. Like this he was thinking. Prati ratri vicharyanapi Govind Ramyo premna tada ashraya vishak premanandena trinapi masana vashat. So at night, every night he will think. Continuously he will have this thought. Tomorrow I will take Krishna with me. I will tell him, let's go. And then we'll leave. But then he sees Vasudeva and he forgets this idea. He says, how can I do this? And he sees that Krishna is also going along with them. So then he gives up the idea. Then at night when he's alone, he says, tomorrow I will definitely do it. But then it doesn't do it. So in this way, 3 months passed. So then it describes how they are going to leave. So there is a long commentary on those last 5 slokas. We will complete that tomorrow. If there is any question on this.
Babaji, Bandhu means only friend or also relative?
Relative who is bound, bandhan. Both. Generally in Hindi it is used for friend. But you say bandhu, bandhav. So bandhav is for not friend but relative. But the word bandhav comes from bandhu only. Bandhu or bhava bandhava. Pratyaya. Okay.